This January, tenants in Quebec were hit with a shock. The province's housing tribunal, or TAL, released its recommendations for its average annual rent increases, and they've been the highest in 3 decades. But after defending the process, the province's housing minister went back to the drawing board, and Francine Duranceau said the calculations will change.
This has not been done in the last 40 years, so it's a major change that we're seeing.
In a statement, the minister's office says it's to make things easier between the landlord and the tenant and to reduce the number of hearings at the TAL. Instead of a 5.9% increase this year with the new calculations, it would have been 4.5%.
Definitely underwhelming, and we feel more that the answer to the landlord's demand than for answer truly to the tenant's demand.
So how is the formula being modified? Well, instead of 13 variables, there would only be 4. And the most significant change is that the landlord's net income won't be included in the formula anymore. That's something housing groups were asking for. Instead, it will be replaced by an average of the consumer price index over the 3 previous years. And landlords say it's a step in the right direction.
If we have a year with a high inflation rate, the calculation will take into consideration the 2 previous years. So the average will make it also more stable, easier to absorb, so less miscommunications.
Another change is something landlords have been asking for, setting a fixed rate for the amortization period for major renovations. In other words, how long landlords can take to recoup their investment. It would be set at 5% over 20 years. Right now, it's set annually based on the consumer price index. Tenants' rights groups say it's not a good idea.
It's going to be harder for tenants and probably discouraging some of them to ask even for repairs because they might not be able to pay for those renovations after all.
After Duranceau initially said her hands were tied, housing groups say this shows the minister actually does have the power to make changes to rent control. But they say this reform just doesn't go far enough to protect tenants.